YouTube, what's good? It's your boy Agnell encouraging you to try something new. Today we're going to be reacting to this Hamza video, 7 habits that will change your life. Let's get right into it.
Jeffrey downloads a YouTube blocker. He can no longer watch the videos on YouTube. Yes, finally, he's going to make some progress. He even has a porn blocker installed on his PC. This is it. This is the time that Jeffrey's actually going to finally improve himself. Wait, who's that? A mysterious figure uninstalls the blocker from Jeffrey's computer. Who could it be? Who would undermine your self-improvement attempts? There is only one man.
By the way, this guy's whoever's editing his videos and doing all these little cartoon meme looking things, A plus, very, very engaging. Like, I am locked in on this video.
Man we can trust to find out the answer for us. Adonis. How dare you sacrifice young Jeffrey's attempts to improve himself? The mysterious figure tries to run away, but he's no match for Adonis, the fastest man on the planet. Adonis sweeps him to the floor and holds him there in a Kimura. He slowly pulls the mask off our perpetrator. Mark Zuckerberg? So it was Zuck all along, ruining Jeffrey's efforts to improve himself. Mystery solved.
Interesting.
We need stories. We need stories to understand ourselves. We are the only.
Well done, Adonis. The first habit that helped me get my life together was weightlifting. This was like the first productive thing I ever did in my life, age 17. And if you've been into lifting or calisthenics recently, you'll know that this is the case. When it's like the first good habit that you do, it really is like the cornerstone that gets you to do other good things. I started weightlifting at age 17 looking like this, 115, 120 pounds. I was so skinny. My wrists and my forearms were skinnier than my sister's. Weightlifting was a beautiful, crucial thing for me. I remember that this is extremely valuable to say. It gave me hope. It gave me optimism. I saw the path ahead of me. Okay, I've started weightlifting. As long as I never quit, I'll build like my dream physique. I felt like that was a guarantee. And so it got me, perhaps for one of the first times in my life, to look forward to the future, to think that I can do something today that will make my future better, because I never really understood the concept of working hard in school or anywhere else. It was weightlifting that really started my life. Then the second habit that helped.
So the gym literally changed my whole life, not only from a perspective of regulating my mental health. Like, when I moved out to Arizona and stuff, I was anxious and depressed and all these things. I had thoughts of self-deleting. I'm getting used to these YouTube words that you can't say, you know what I mean? But all of those things that I had going on in my head, weightlifting literally just started to alleviate all of that stuff. It's like I was putting the pain and the suffering into the weights and into my, you know what I mean? Like, I was just really, really locked into it because it was making me feel a lot better about myself. And not only, like, started clearing up my mental health stuff, I started to look a lot better. I'm like, yo, I got muscles now. Like, I got biceps, I got triceps, and like I'm squatting heavy, this and that. Like he said, it gave him hope for sure. But for me, it was more of like, it gave me the mindset of I can do anything, and I cracked the code. I figured out the formula. You grind for a long period of time, and then your life starts to change. And it made me realize that nothing in life comes so easy, because if it was hang on if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. You know what I mean? Everyone would be doing it. Sorry, I'm getting a call real quick. Hold up. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. So it made me realize that, like, okay, I gotta grind shit out to get to where I need to be. You feel me? Hang on. What's up?
We recording?
Yes.
I was just gonna show you something, but it's not important.
Okay.
Don't tell you.
I get back because I'm losing my thoughts right now.
Okay.
All right. Bye. So yeah, literally you start from ground zero, you grind your way out for years and years and years, and things start to change over the course of time. And I feel like I could apply that formula to anything in life that I want to do. You know what I mean? And it's the coolest thing ever. It's the coolest thing ever. So those three things: number one, mental health, clarity, like all the shit that you got going on in your head, it just melts away. Number two, the physique. You start to build all these muscles and stuff, and you start to build and develop this self-confidence because you look good. You could, you're walking different, you're walking with swag and confidence because you got all these cool, nice looking muscles and shit. And then number three is that formula of like start from scratch, grind your way up, and get to where you need to be. And that's like the universal formula to life. You know what I mean? It feels like I cracked the code. It's crazy. But yes, weightlifting. If you don't lift weights, you don't have to lift weights. You could do cardio. There's so many things like you could do to keep yourself in shape. And again, it doesn't have to be lifting weights. I would advise it to be because there's nothing like just growing and then getting stronger. But if your thing is yoga, if your thing is Pilates, if your thing is swimming, whatever the case may be, just do something, move your body, and you'll reap the benefits of that.
Helped me get my life together was learning. So at age 21, I took an online course which is completely free, and it's called The Science of Wellbeing. It was going kind of viral at that time, and I saw some people talk about it on Reddit. And so I took the course. It's online, it's free. You can literally just Google The Science of Wellbeing. It's kind of like an online course where you just kind of sit there, you open up the browser, and it's almost like YouTube videos where you just let the video play, but it's extremely educational. And so for the first time in my life, I was actually learning. It's very, very fucking sad to hear that, isn't it? I was 21 years old, and that was the first time I was learning. I had literally graduated from university, and I don't consider any of the things that I learned in the education system actual learning. The pathetic education that I went through was a complete waste of time. But we're not, you're not supposed to say this because education is absolutely key. But the education system, the school, the college, the universities are fucking bullshit. And this is maybe a side tangent. But age 21 is the first time that I actually ever learned anything. I took this course, it changed my life. It's all about mental health. And it kind of explained the real research on how to be happy, on how to have good mental health. And I had never learned these things before. So many of my problems were fixed because I took this course and I implemented the steps. The third habit that helped me get my life together.
So again, this kind of breaches and branches into the last one, with the formula of life, pretty much. Learning and implementing stuff. I started to read books on basically what he said, how to get my mind right and stuff like that. But there's a difference between reading books and learning about information and then applying said information to your life. That's where the real change is gonna happen. You can't just sit there and read books and get all these online courses and take the quizzes and all that stuff, and if you're not applying anything that you learn, then it's just information that's floating around in your head. And if you're not learning, you're not growing. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. I'm just going to leave it at that. If you're not learning, you're not growing. And again, it takes a long time for you to absorb said information and then apply it to your life. So that way you can see the changes too. So that's that. Learning is real. This is real. This is a good video so far.
There's one that I learned from the course that we just mentioned. The instructor in the course tells you of the vast benefits of meditation. So the third habit was meditating. And I struggled hard trying to meditate when I first started. I literally couldn't even last 1 minute. And yeah, like every time I say this, everyone says, oh, you couldn't last 1 minute. That's what he said. Shut up. It's not even that funny. I remember struggling hard when I first started to meditate. I downloaded some of those apps. And within literally 30 seconds to 1 minute, I'd be so bored. I'd need more stimulation that I just opened my eyes and just canceled the app early. Meditation became a beautiful thing, and it became so consistent in my morning routine, just a few minutes every single morning. Eventually I leveled it up to 20 minutes in the morning. What meditation did for me, honestly, the biggest benefit, which is somewhat unexpected, it immediately significantly improved my diet. Perhaps you could probably connect the dots, but when I was researching meditation, oftentimes people were just saying, it's mindfulness and presence, and there's this benefit and this one. As soon as I became more mindful, I didn't want to eat that junk that I would usually be eating, and I got so much more pleasure and enjoyment from eating healthy foods. I remember before I started meditating, and along with mental illness, like mental health problems like depression, anxiety, stress, I was a big binge eater. It's almost weird for me to say this right now because it's been so long since I binge ate. A lot of people say like, oh yeah, like I ate lots of food. No. Binge eating is like you eat till you feel fucking sick, and then you keep eating. You have this weird need, not just finish the food that you've got in front of you, but to finish everything, to eat everything in sight. And it's heavily related to anxiety. It's heavily related to like needing a sense of comfort, which you can get from food and feeling full. It's kind of dark actually, but I remember there was a guy I coached. I used to do like one-on-one coaching. I don't do it anymore, but there was a guy I coached who was sexually abused as a child, and he was overweight, like he was obese. That was the thing that I was trying to help him with. And I remember once he just said something that really almost, it broke my heart, but he explained so much. We were trying to get, really explain logically, okay, like why do you eat so much? Well, like, he would eat till he was so fucking sick and agitated with himself. And I had known about what had happened to him as a child. And just once he just connected the dots and he said like, well, when I eat that much and I'm so full, I feel so like disgusting that it kind of feels like a way to protect myself from further sexual abuse. Trauma and abuse and things that mess up your mental health can truly make you do some like really crazy self-detrimental things like binge eating, like drug abuse, like self-harming. Meditation, I personally believe, is the single best thing you can do to improve on that. The list of benefits of meditation, and this video would be over an hour long if I actually told you the list of benefits. It's just one of those where it's almost like a weird, vague thing where you're not 100% sure if it's working. If I could give you one piece of advice right now, it's start meditating. You follow one of those apps. The app I recommend is called Medito, completely free app. I'm not even like associated with them. I would download an app and I would just follow, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 1 minute every single morning, and just have this kind of perception that yes, as long as I'm doing this, I'm going to be making progress, and it will become clear to me soon in the future. Really relate yourself to like the guy who goes to the gym, does the workout, and then looks in the mirror and says like, well, I'm not any thinner, or I'm not any like, more muscular yet.
Exactly what I was talking about in terms of, longevity and consistency in the gym. And, that whole formula thing I was talking about is just, you have to grind. It's not going to feel like you're making progress the first couple days of you doing something new. You have to be consistent with it for you to reap the benefits of said discipline. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you've been eating shit food and you haven't been exercising for years and years and years, maybe decades. So to that guy, we have to say, well, yeah, go to the gym for 3 months and then you'll probably see some gains. Right. So for you, you've been doing the equivalents. You've been fucking up your mental health with all this content stimulation, with social media, with porn for years and years and years. And so it's going to take a couple of weeks at least for you to see something. And it's usually someone meditates for 2 weeks and their life transforms forever. The fourth habit.
That's it. And that was my biggest takeaway with meditation. This is something that I knew subconsciously that I have to start implementing into my life. Especially at the end, he said, the overstimulation of you being on social media, computers, video games, and just scrolling on Instagram and YouTube videos, all these things, like my brain is doing this all day long. And I feel like meditating is going to calm all that craziness in my head down. And so that way I can really, truly relax and shut my brain off so it's not working, because I feel like when I sleep, my brain is still working and it's still going and it's still going, and I'm not truly sleeping. And then I wake up tired as hell. I'm like, I just had 7 hours of sleep, and that's something that, doctors recommend and all that stuff. Like, why am I still tired? And so I think that because I'm overstimulated all day, every day, like, it's hard for me to flip that switch off in my brain so that way I can truly relax and sleep. And so I think meditation will help me get to that point where it's like, okay, I can shut my brain off and I can truly relax. But again, like he said in the video, like Hamza said, like it's like I've tried it a few times and I'm like, yo, this is so boring. Like, what am I doing? Like, this does, I don't feel anything. You know what I mean? Like, when people think of meditation, they think of you being like a monk, just sitting with your legs crossed and your arms, crossed, and then you're just like, you got your hands up like this and you just, floating away in your mind. You know what I mean? It's like I didn't get that feeling. And that's why I didn't stay consistent with it. But now, like, now that I'm watching this and I'm, self-realizing stuff, I'm like, let me try it again, and then let me see if I stay consistent with it. I want to see what the results are looking like. So definitely want to start implementing meditation. I currently don't do it, but I do want to make it a one of the habits that I have in my life, so that way I can see what benefits he's talking about. You know what I mean? I want to see.
Is journaling, specifically gratitude journaling. This is so simple. Literally just write down a couple of things that you're grateful for. This puts you in a very positive mindset, because for once in your life, you're actually sat there and not striving to want anything else. You're not like thinking about anything else. You're literally just thinking, okay, what am I happy about? What am I grateful that is in my life? It's a very beautiful practice. And when you get more consistent, you'll find that you'll start expressing gratitude just throughout your normal day. It's kind of like a skill. And the higher you level up this skill by simply writing down things or just expressing gratitude or thinking about what you're grateful for, the more that it will just naturally come in. Imagine you just sat there one day and just randomly you get a feeling of gratitude that, oh yeah, I'm really grateful to be alive. I'm really grateful for my family. It's a very beautiful feeling. The fifth habit that's changed.
Correct. Gratitude is awesome. Whenever you're having a bad day, just think about what you currently have. And again, I'm not here to like compare um lives with other people, you know what I mean? Like, because there's people that are in different countries and there's bombs exploding in on their block, you know what I mean? They don't have access to food, water, and here I am in a first world country with an apartment, roof over my head. I got a bed, I got water coming out of my faucets, I have a toilet I could take a dump in and flush the feces away. I got a shower, I got a laptop, I got a microphone, I got a fridge, I got food. Like, what, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm really grateful for what I have, but granted, it's not a freaking, beautiful, crazy mansion, but I got a nice little apartment going on. You know what I mean? Nothing flashy. I got everything that I need to live a self-sustaining, beautiful, great life. I got family, I got my siblings, I got my cousins, I got my aunts, my uncles. Like, there's people that don't have any of that stuff, you know what I mean? So as soon as you start to realize like what you have, and show thanks to yourself for what you have, like, you'll start to be like, you know what? Life is not all that bad. You know what I mean? It's not all that bad. So that I really like how he added the gratitude thing, because it's very, very important. But journaling, the gratitude is something I definitely have to work on. And I definitely used to journal a little bit here and there and just write, whatever came to my head, I just wrote it down. But definitely the gratitude journaling is something I want to start to implement as well.
changed my life is reading. I know that I've already mentioned learning, but I'm going to put this as a separate one because I think reading and learning are two of the most important things that you can do as a young man. Reading is literally like such a high value skill that I'd say over 90% of young men aren't doing. If you're watching this video right now and you don't currently read books, you are going to get destroyed. You are going to get dominated by another man who's reading. It's as simple as that. The woman that you want will be his. The money that you want will be his. The status that you want will be his. You choose. Stay in this lowly position of like, oh, well, reading's not that. Shut the fuck up. I get aggressive about this because when you realize the ROI of reading, and then I see that people don't actually read and they choose to just watch fucking Netflix and anime and shit, and I just think to myself, like, there is literally the pathway to wealth. There is literally the pathway to love. It's literally just all there in books. All you have to do is just read and then just try to implement those things that you learn, and your life changes forever. And when people don't read it, it honestly pisses me off because I just think, why are you missing out on life? Reading is quite literally like a 10 out of 10 thing. I wouldn't speak like this if I didn't preach it. Get into reading. It seems a little bit boring when you first start off. It's a bit tricky because your mind is so fucked and you can barely read a few sentences before your mind starts thinking about something else. Reading is a skill. Right now, you're level 1 in this skill because in the real world, when you don't level up a skill, you actually lose experience. You need to like look yourself in the mirror and have a little bit of hatred towards yourself and say like, fuck, I can't even read. Bro, I read for like 3 sentences and my mind wanders. What a fucking disgrace. You need to have some aggression about this and literally say to yourself, what a disgrace that I can't and I will not read. What a privilege it is to read and to get the wisdom and knowledge from men who are better than us. And I choose not to read because it's not that fun, because it's a little bit hard. Slap some sense into yourself, pick out a couple of books and start reading for an hour a day, every single day for the rest of your life. It's that simple. This is literally how you become rich. Like I was going to make a separate video titled, like obnoxiously titled, The Reason Why I'm Rich and You're Broke, simply because I read. That is the one where you can say it's privilege or whatever the fuck you want to say. I read the right book at the right time, and that changed my life forever. The book was The Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. It's kind of like a new blueprint to understanding wealth and money. I read it at about age 21 when I was first starting to make money. Like, you know, I was first like working full-time jobs after I finished university. I was trying businesses. And just because I read that single book, I never fell into the trap that the majority of like 99% of people do, and they're okay making 2K a month, 3K a month. And like, you're probably thinking,
wait, 2K is a month. It's actually pretty good.
Bro, reading change. I sound like a dickhead, and yeah, I am, okay, I am. But reading will change your life, and you don't have to take my word for it. Either you read and your life improves, or you don't, and you stay like everyone else. When I think about, I went 20-something years without reading. If I started reading when I was in high school, holy shit. And I'm not talking about reading what your fucking dumb teacher gives to you. Like, fuck that. I'm talking about reading some good books that you see recommended in our space. What's interesting is that what's popular is usually wrong. So whatever 99% of people recommend is usually wrong. What I found personally is that the books that are recommended, widely recommended, are actually really, really good. It's really interesting. I think because people who consistently read are in like the top 5% anyway. So, the same books keep getting recommended by the people who read consistently, then it's a pretty good book. You don't have to look for like a very weird niche book that no one's recommended because, we want to be like the 1%. Like the 1% are the people who read. I hope that makes sense. The 6th habit that helped me.
So, yes, 1000%. There's so much information, knowledge, wisdom in books. Like it's crazy. And I feel like if anyone starts to pick up books and read the right books, then you literally have the power to do whatever you want in this life. Like literally, aside from like I learn a lot on YouTube, don't get me wrong, but books just hit way different. I feel like there's more value in books than there are in videos and stuff like that. I feel like videos are like, you can definitely learn a skill on YouTube, but like books are just so powerful, man. They're extremely powerful, and I still have books that I have that I haven't touched, and I do want to get to it and start reading some more. But again, just I'm not gonna lie, I'm addicted to my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I am very much so addicted to the phone, and I fucking scroll all day whenever I have a slither of time, and I'm just sitting there. I'm immediately get bored. I just grab my phone and start scrolling Instagram, start scrolling, laughing at shit, responding to DMs, and then boom. And then once I get off of it, 30 minutes later at a time, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, I could have been reading a book. I could have been doing something way more productive. And So yeah, books are very, very powerful. Definitely want to get back to it. And I plan on reading some more books that will put some more information in my head that I can apply to my real life. And that way it'll change my life, just as Hamza explained.
Me get my life together. It's very interesting. It's failing. I got into the habit of failing, of trying things and failing them. There's a video of mine which is getting a lot of views right now, and it's titled "I Am a Failure." It's kind of like a epic montage edit, like, you know, with music and hype and everything. And I describe the process of actually becoming successful. It's constantly just trying and failing and being okay with that failure and then learning from it and then trying again. I think my generation especially has a problem with this. I see perfectionism is like through the roof. It's kind of a weird term, perfectionism, because it almost seems like a positive thing. Perfectionism is for pussies. Like if you're a perfectionist, you have to be a coward, you have to be a pussy. I'd say most of my generation is so deathly afraid of failure, and if you're afraid of failure, you will never become a success. And finally, the seventh habit, one that you can
Correct. And that goes for anything. Like what popped up in my head was shooting my shot at girls that I find attractive. Like, you're gonna fail, and me not even trying to go up and talk to a girl is like, you're there's no progress in that. It's just like a safety, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie, I was a lot more scared to approach women back when I was younger, because I didn't want to face that rejection. That shit hurts. It hurts to the core, and I didn't want to have that feeling, you know what I mean? But as I kept progressing and getting older and getting more wiser and getting more courageous, definitely just, learn to just go for it. You know what I mean? And if she rejects and declines, or you know what I mean, like she doesn't give me her number, that's cool. You keep trying, keep shooting your shot. Shooters shoot. You gotta keep shooting, regardless of whether it's women, whether it's working out, whether it's jujitsu or Muay Thai or anything that you try. Just keep trying it, keep failing, keep learning from that failure, because you turn your L's into lessons. You feel me? That's real. Just keep going.
probably guess is uploading content. I realized about 2 years ago that social media is the single greatest opportunity of our generation.
Facts.
This is our generation's gold rush. Uploading content consistently led me to where I am today. At first, I was doing it just for the sake of like entrepreneurship and making money online. And slowly and surely, when an audience started building up and I got way more purposeful and more driven and more focused, it became more like a movement, a revolution of young men who are sick and tired of living normal lives. We've done years of playing video games, of watching porn, of eating shitty junk food.
Facts.
And we hate our lives. For years, we scrolled on social media because that's the normal thing to do, and we hated our lives. I felt these emotions. I felt this sickness, this pain inside of me, this agitation of living like a normal person, and I was so fed up with it that I transformed my life forever, and I started documenting my process and just coming onto camera and just teaching my learning lessons of living quite a weird life, detached away from, like, not fully detached away from modern technology. You know, I've got my computer on right now, and I've got a document open with like today's script and everything, but enough that I don't have social media. I haven't watched porn in years. I don't have dating apps. I don't eat shitty junk food. I don't eat sweets and crisps. Uploading content starts as just a habit that, you know, you're just kind of doing to try and make some money. And as soon as you start building up an audience, you start taking it seriously, because you realize, like, oh fuck, like hundreds of people are watching me, looking up at me. And you really want to start spreading a good message after that. I've seen some people taking my content and re-uploading it onto like their, kind of like what Andrew Tate's done, but they've got like Hamza clips, Hamza shorts, and it's just like videos of me. We're like, oh, you know, Hamza explains no fat benefits. I've seen people do that and get like quite a lot of views, and their channels are monetized. I never copyright anyone who's taking my videos. I wanted to make an announcement. If you've ever wanted to like download my videos and keep them safe in case like YouTube ever bans me, or if you wanted to like make your own sort of YouTube account, just re-uploading my own content to like get monetized way quicker than normal, then you can do that. Absolutely. Like, you have full permission to use my content to
salute to you, because literally what you just said is exactly what I'm doing right now. It's not only just him. I want to do this for any other content creator that has motivational shit to say. You know what I mean? Like, because this is what I did when I was at ground zero with nobody by my side, I went to YouTube and I started looking up how to quit jacking off, how to get girls, how to become a better person, how to lift weights, this and that, over and over and over again. And I feel like there's still people out there that do that. And I would like to be someone kind of like Hamza in terms of inspiration. You know what I mean? Like I have conversations, life-changing conversations with my patients in the chair, you know what I mean? And they leave the chair not only with their teeth clean, but like they leave with like, oh shoot, like I can tell in their face, like I struck a nerve in their heads and I left a mark on them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like they're motivated to start making some changes, not only in their oral health but in their overall life. And so I'm just trying to expand it from an individual aspect in terms of me being a hygienist to other people and one-on-one to spreading the message on social media, which is pretty much what he's explaining right now. But the consistency and the discipline is what I need to work on. It's tough. I'm juggling a million things, but I'm starting to realize that it's not working and I have to change something. And I might have to give up a little bit of combat training. You know what I mean? I might have to do that. Or I might have to, upload content and make content in the morning before I go to work instead of going to the gym in the morning. Or I gotta come up with a plan. But again, like he said, social media uploading and posting is like the thing of our generation. You know what I mean? It's the plug. It's really a plug, and you can choose to pick whatever topic you want and just consistently upload on it, and you'll get rewarded for it eventually. Again, going back to the first habit that he talked about, and that formula of cracking the code in life is you start from nothing, you stay consistent and disciplined over the course of years, and then you'll get somewhere. So that's the mindset that I have for social media as well, and posting these YouTube videos for you guys to enjoy.
Re-upload it anywhere that you want.
But salute to him for allowing other people to react off of his content, because that's really cool. And I feel like if I make it to his level on YouTube, I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing. Like, nah, definitely I'm not about to be no copyright cop. You know what I mean? I'm not about to do that.
Upload it onto Pornhub, bro. Scroll down right now and click on the subscribe button. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah.
Hey, yo. Salute to Hamza, though. That was a good video for sure. Yeah, not only did I enjoy reacting to it, but I definitely learned some stuff too. And there's some habits that I have to implement in my life to make myself better, so that way I can do things like uploading more YouTube videos for you guys to enjoy. So if you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I greatly appreciate it. It's your boy Agnell, encouraging you to try something new. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.